Hello there fellow crafters, my name is George and this is the Spare Time G, and today we're gonna sculpt L-Star LMG replica from Apex Legends. So if you have seen my previous videos of these rifle models, you should have seen that I love making them out of these ear cleaning tubes without the cotton on the top and the bottom, of course. Remove the cotton and coat it up with a darker clay. And at this stage the color is not very important, as the scale is going to be much larger and the thickness of this frame is not going to be identical to the thickness of the barrel. This time, as the scale again is quite larger than my first season rifle models, I will need to connect two of these tubes together using this narrow wire I was able to find around my house. If you do not have this kind of thin wire, you can simply use the tooth cleaning stick. It really works quite nice and connects these two pieces together quite neatly. And once you are done, you now have the overall length and frame on which to base the overall LMG on. The first step, of course, I am going to create the overall base thickness, coat it up with thicker clay in order to replicate that size for the LMG. Just leave out some small piece. Later on you will need to coat it up with grayish clay, which replicates the top of the barrel itself, a muzzle brake, so to say, if it is the right word for the LMGs. Yeah, and once you're done, you right now just have the perfect base in order to work up on it. You can decide whether you go up or bottom. I have decided to firstly do the top part, the top portion, so that's why I'm adding the top details. The thing is that on the top you can see these rails on which you can add sights on the real actual guns as well. So that thing, the ridge on which the rails are connected, is so thin. At this scale, a simple clay rod will not be able to hold the weight of it and it will really easily get damaged. So I would suggest to create another rod of coated ear cleaning tubes in order to then place it on the top of it and then place the rails above it, and of course using some tool to make the teeth of it. So little by little, then of course you can start adding some silverish details at the top, as you can see in the Google images in the reference photos, after you have already added the sides and rails, of course. And then slowly you can go down and work on at the bottom. That's of course what I have decided to do. And here I would like to add that again the bottom part is connected to the handle. That means that this piece is going to be too narrow and too easily damaged once again. That's why I have also decided to coat it up to add the tube part, plastic tube part onto it instead of making this as a simple clay, because of the reasons I have already mentioned. After doing the top and bottom part, to be honest, it's quite tough to work at the back, because right now you also need to worry about damaging all the other bits and pieces. That's why I do not really suggest to go and make the tiny pieces and details on all over the gun unless you are done doing the stock and overall gun itself. The last portion is going to be the screws, tiny portion of details, some kind of colored pieces, and so on. So after doing and having some assets at the front part, the stock was quite tough to create without damaging all the other also already created pieces. And at the same time, this top part is really complicated to create. It has taken a lot of time, and to be honest, it is quite tough to maintain these straight lines, especially when you're working in the summer where the clay is extra super soft, and even a smallest dip and push will damage it, and you will need like 10 times more effort to get back to undamaged state. So it was quite tough to do, and later on, once you're done with making the general shape for the stock, you can add the orange parts. I'm really big fan of this final stage, more or less final stage, because it gave the overall gun a much better look. In my opinion, it looked much effective. And the later stages is going to be detail adding. Of course, you can use some kind of tools, small pieces of clay, add on places where you think it is really necessary to, and this is the final version of it. I'm quite glad of this model. This is the second model, to be honest, at this scale, after this triple take, as you can see at the back. And yeah, to be honest, I think this is the finest rifle, gun, LMG, SMG model I have done yet. It looks the best, at least, and at the same time I think that the details and the quality of details I have done on this one probably is the best on all of my rifle and gun model videos. And if you like this kind of gun, LMG, SMG models, comment down below which gun I should make next. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this project. I certainly did. Also, I would like to suggest doing this kind of small scale projects as well if you are into sculpting, especially making some kind of guns or other technology pieces with straight and plain lines. It's quite a tough and nice challenge for you. Have a nice day and see you next time. Goodbye.